Niko ready. Ile elfu nne unapeananga ni hadi brother and sister akikufa. Inakonga parent, brother, sister. Okay. Yes. Sawa, ina shida. Ini wewe Mariba wewe. Wewe Mariba na quit. Mariba ako na issue. Yes, so Mariba, what do you want to tell the SD? You. Wiki jana wewe. So
I'm seeing Mariba, Takuramba, just because I will not engage with you. I choose this.
huyu mtoto huyu.
Okay guys, we are already live on Puea Media and we will join Puea Radio in a short while. They'll join us shortly. Head of radio is here. So Miss P, they look okay? Their lips are not dry? Okay,
Si nimekwambia unipatie link.
Tunawalipa.
Eh?
Bwana, don't make us engage it.
We are live.
And this is like
Yes, I know this is the first time we're doing this. But tujifanye we are used to it. Yes. Mbona huyu jamaa hajakaa huko?
Wako huku kando na tu.
amekusingishiwa hiyo kitu huko, si ndio?
No, it's okay, it's well. It's well. So, be courageous. Our questions will come when you're done. This is your event, not ours. Whatever you want to say is what we'll ask you questions from. We will not ask you any question outside this press briefing. All right? So unless you talk about Puea gossip, we will not talk about it too.
Of course.
My journalists are well advised. And if they ask you a question in a language you don't understand, you can request them to translate. So, feel free, relax, and do your best. Shall we send him? Send him, thank you, because he's addressing the camera. I don't even look back at the looking room. Now, tukianza, utakuwa na pampa rekodi kwa utakuwa live on yourself. Na don't move your camera unless you ask. Thank you. Shall we punguza headphone kidogo? Okay, Charlie.
Alinyoa shete. Nipaliza nywele. Umetushaanza. Tushaenda live.
Thank you. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
Thank you so much. First of all, I think it's good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ezra Ruto, the Student Council Chairperson, the Presbyterian University of East Africa. I am joined by the Secretary General of the Students Association of this university. Before we speak, we would first of all want to apologize because I'm well versed that we are supposed to begin this address at exactly 11 or 12, but we've delayed because of technical hitches and problems here and there. but well off, we are here to address. So I hope we'll serve to the interest of everyone who put this thing together. So thank you so much, Puea Communication Department, Puea Radio, and Puea Media at large. On 1st November 2022, 12 officials of the Student Council were sworn into office. We've served for the last 6 months, and we are here today to just basically say and outline what the last 6 months has been, as it has always been the culture. This is what we call the half-year stock taking. What are we doing? What have we done? And what we are going to do in the remaining 6 months that the Student Council 2022-2023 will be in office. Our leadership is the ability to translate vision into reality. Whenever a leader steps into office, the first responsibility they have is to describe or outline the reality that they have for their constituents. The last thing that a leader says when they exit office is thank you. In between definition of the reality and the vision and the end is that a leader becomes a servant. And as the Student Council, since last year, 1st November, we've struggled. We've done everything we could to make sure that we've become servants. And we thank God that so far, I won't say the common, that so far so good. No. I'll say that so far, it has taken the hand of God and the grace of God kufika pali ambapo tumefika. The following members of the Student Council, the Student Council elected the following members. Some were nominated, some were selected. The President, the Vice President, the Secretary General, the Finance Director, the Academic and Student Welfare Director, the Sports, Clubs and Entertainment Director, the Security, Hospitality and Accommodation Director, the Religious Affairs Director, Mr. Puea, Miss Puea, and 2, that is the international representative. Those are students who are coming from other countries. We have a representative. And also 1, the student living with disabilities representative. Over this time, we've ensured that the following has been done. And this is our promise, that whatever we will not maybe touch on it, I'll just give a brief and the SG will finish on the rest. When we got into office, I'm here to represent all the officials that I've mentioned above. And I'll begin by saying we've ensured that we got the following has been done at a time that was challenging. This is our promise, that whatever we've gone through the waves, maybe touch on it, together with the Student Council, just give a brief intact, and the SG will finish on the rest. We promised some things when we got into office, and every promise they say all the officials that I've mentioned above. The students I'll begin by saying put us into this office, that we got into office and time become keepers of the promise that we promised gone through the waves during the campaigns and everything. It's still intact. And with enough said, we promised some things. I'll touch on a few, and every promise and the SG will every tackle a few needs a keeper. The students who are our constituents that put us into this very office important, and is the student welfare of the promise that student we promised welfare in our institution campaigns and everything. Things. And that is 1. I'll touch on a few of our and students, the SG will number 2, the security of our students, the first and number 3 that is very important. We will tie it to academic, the student welfare. Also part of the student welfare in our institution comes in 3 or the internet connectivity. That is 1. The health on matters of our students in our institution. We've been having a problem. The security of our students. The problem is still there, but it is subsidized. We'll tie it to academics, but whenever a student gets welfare, we have a clinic that is orthodox internet connectivity, where our students go to on matters of health in our institution. We've been having a challenge. The problem is still there. The academic director, that is Kate Moore, that whenever a student gets down, we have a clinic that is orthodox and all the necessary offices where our students go to be attended. And outline measures when we got into office, it was a challenge. Solved or could tackle the academic director, that is Kate Moore, sat down with the dean with so much keenness, because these necessary offices, sadly, and outline measures that could be solved or could tackle traveling home, because to get treated. I'm saying this with so much keenness because this year the academic director lost a student, outlined the following things. Who was traveling home, we decided that to get treated, whenever a student is around the school and the dean is not there to sign the letter that is up to the student, the following things. 1, we'll have a janitor whenever the males was around the school and the dean is not there to sign the letter that is up to the students supposed to take the orthodox. The janitor and the janitor are always there 24/7. And we'll have a matron. Number 2, because these are systems and every institution has a system are always there 24/7. We decided that to also solve the issue, because this semester and every institution has a system. I'm happy to say this because on Wednesday to also solve the student council met the vice chancellor. I'm happy to say this because we already knew, but we wanted the student council met the vice chancellor that by the end of this semester, we already knew, but we wanted next semester we'll have a university clinic. That by the end of this semester, as per what coming to next semester, we'll have a university around the anatomy building. As per what will be the university areas around the anatomy building. So before a student gets treated anywhere, the university they'll have to go there. So before a student gets treated anywhere, of security, they'll have to go there. Which is a matter of security, because which is a bitter problem. We live in tough times where our students have been attacked. We live in tough times where our students have been attacked. We had a lot of issues as the student council, that the security accommodation, that the security hospitality director will give his number, that is his contacts all over the places of this institution. We make sure that the watchmen at the gate have the number, the contacts. And number two, we are also advising our students that we have the head of security, that is Mr. Mushina's number. So that if anyone is caught anything outside there, Mr. Mushina or Phineas can address because they are good at that. Also, when it comes to matters of the security, the SG, we do remember very well, has been keen enough as every semester begins. We release a memo as the student council, advising our students not to walk at night, not to walk in one prone area is the area around Gate B, Pulechin. The SG has always done that. Also number 3, when it comes to matters of security, the school has ensured that there are two security men, that is trained policemen, who are always walking around the school. Number 3, part of student welfare, that is the Wi-Fi connectivity. When we got into office, we all know that the Wi-Fi was a bit hectic, especially the area around the cafeteria. We held consecutive meetings with the ICT department and all the other offices that were concerned through the dean's office. And we came with the following, that 1, Wi-Fi connectivity will be increased, or what we call increasing of Wi-Fi hotspot areas, so that it's not only the area around the cafeteria where students are bulging up to use the Wi-Fi. And that has already happened, as we all know, that the area around lecture room 20, lecture room 21, that's the LSEC building. They put there a transmitter, which is currently working, and students, it's no need of you going to sit around the cafeteria. You can sit areas around that place. Also, number 2, it is advisable for me to say that we are working on ensuring the area next to the library. We have word from the DVC himself that in the coming few weeks, the area are next to the library. The Wi-Fi connectivity will also be increased. That's the hotspot areas as we move on. Number 2, something that the Student Council has worked on is, and maybe before I go to number 2, we all know that it came to a time where the dressing code became an issue. And we advised, as the Student Council, we advised, and we are still advising our students to go back to the student handbook and read and get versed with the correct student attire or the correct dress code that the university needs us as students to have, from the hair to the toe. And we have always advised, our offices have always been open, and I say that with a lot of pride, that you can never come to lecture room 21 in our offices and miss one of us there. So that if you don't understand the dress code, you can talk to us and we explain to you the dress code. So we ensured that, so as to solve the issue of also insecurity inside and outside the school, close to school, we ensure that our students should be working with tags. It is important, and we've always advised the students to work with tags so that you are known. If a police officer gets you outside there, you are known, you have a tag of our institution. It is easier for us as the Student Council to reach out to you. Number 2 is the Compassion Fund, which we really dearly promised. Although it was in the Student Council constitution, it was not being fulfilled. The finance director, who happens to be here, that is Daniel Muteti, has ensured, and we've also, in any forum that we've held as the Student Council, we've advised our students that if you lose your parent, that is your dad or your mom, or if you happen to lose your sister or your brother, that is your close family members, the Student Council stands in with some stipend. That is a small amount of money, not that small, but it's some cash of money from the finance office through the finance director's office, and you are given, and we stand in for you. And that, with no fear of contradicting myself, has always happened, and we are happy. So that if any student, and we are still communicating, that if any student has lost a parent, a dad or mom or your brother or sister, that is your close family members, you connect, you just text, you just come to us, and in a few days you'll have the stipend, so that at least that is the place we can stand with you. There is no need of rushing and us forming WhatsApp groups, which of course has been happening. I'm not going against it. It's good, of course. But rather than rushing to form the WhatsApp group, first of all, come to us. We ensure that you have the money. Another thing that also ties with that is that the issue of the students living with disabilities, which has been something that has always been a problem in this institution. That is one, they are not considered, and there have always been a representative. And we are happy that as the student council of this year, our representative, that is Omariba, has always ensured, like we ensured when we got into office, that all the students living with disabilities have been registered. What did we do after ensuring they have been registered? We ensured that they have been assessed, and the school, through the finance director's office, ensured that they provided this. What am I trying to imply? That we are still calling for all the students who are living with disabilities. We may not reach out to you, but through this address, I believe that we'll reach out to you. That if you have a friend, disability is not inability. It does not mean that you are lesser of a human being. It means that we love you, and we want you to be close to us as the student council. And we have our student living with disability representative in the council. We promised, as the student council, that will ensure that will be a proactive, involved student council. 6 months into it, we have ensured that. That is one, through ensuring that we are all over. And for the first time, I am happy to say that our leaders are all over, which is something that is good. You cannot tell us as the leaders that mimi sijakuwa ground, that SG ajui vitu zina happen kwa ground. We have always been there because we are closer to the students. Personally, I live among the people that I lead. That is my students. I eat in restaurants that our students eat. My leaders do the same. We are always there in the cafeteria. We are always walking around the school. Even to the extent that during the times that exams were held, we ensured that as a student council that if any one of us is not having an exam or is not reading for an exam, we walk around the exam rooms ensuring that everything is running effectively, which is something that we are proud of. Another thing that I'm really, really happy is to announce that because we are proactive involved student council, we went out there and some of us were elected into other new offices, especially in Kiambu County. That is through the umbrella of Kiambu County Universities and Colleges Students Association. Personally, as the student council chairperson, I was elected to head and lead as the director of the presidential council. That means that I chair the presidents of all the universities in Kiambu County. Happy to announce that the man seated next to me, that is the SG, is the deputy director of the finance and career of the same umbrella of KUKSA. Also, my vice chairperson, that is Hilda Mwende, is the deputy director of health in KUKSA. Also recently, I know it's not official SG, but SG was elected as the treasurer of Kenya Private University Students Association. The announcement is coming in a few. That is to mean that our student council is a proactive student council. It's a student council that is involved in the affairs of our own students. Number 5, something that is also important for me to note, and I won't forget to note it, is we entered into office, and I think the problem is still persistent, and especially now, at a time that the government has said that it will not maybe give private universities our students. We've ensured, as the student council, we know we have a role because we did not apply for these positions out of greed. We applied for these positions out of passion. What we love in our institution, and we've ensured that we've marketed our university because we promised that in every semester we shall be having one big event. September we did not happen because we had just gotten into office. Come January, on March 10th, event that is through courtesy of Web 360 event, and we are happy as a student council that we went out there through the office of Mr. and Miss Puea, that is Randy and Skita. I also forgot to announce to you that Randy, our Mr. Puea, was also crowned as Mr. KUKSA, that is Mr. Kiambu County when it comes to universities and colleges. which is something to be proud of. I was talking about events, and we did one event, that is the Web 360 event, that brought about more than 15 companies in our institution. Happy to announce that the Standard Media were on ground, and we were live at KTN home, which is something that we are proud of. Days prior to the event, we were featured in a newspaper, that is Standard. Prior also to the event, the Dean and I were also at Vibes Radio, which is something that is good in doing it. Coming over this semester, I want to announce the following, that as the Student Council, this semester we all understand it's a short semester, meaning we won't be doing the big event, but we'll be doing something that we've tagged as the small educative event. What is coming up for us is 1, relationship talks, 2, mental health talks, all those talks. We are organizing to ensure that even our ladies meet and talk. We're organizing to ensure even our men meet privately and talk matters, affairs of, which is something that is good. It is coming up because I say this because the office, the SD about it, but the office of the Sports Club and Entertainment Director is coming up with a list of all the events that the Student Council is going to do this semester. Number 6 is that as the Student Council, we have a representative of the religious denominations or religious groups. That is the SDS, the Muslims, the Catholics, and the Protestants. That is Joseph Kariuki, Mr. Joseph Kariuki. Through his docket, we've ensured as the Student Council that no denomination, no group of students, no religious group of students are left out when it comes to issues like 1, financing or facilitation of their events, such that if the SD have an event, they write, the religious affairs brings it to us, we push it, we make sure that they are facilitated. And that, I am proud to say, has always happened through the finance director's office. Through us also, we petitioned, and I'm happy to announce that through the VC, a new choir trainer was brought to school, meaning that you'll only not function with the Protestants alone or the SDs alone, but you'll be functioning with all the choir groups in this institution to train them. Also coming up, towards the end of this semester, if not the end of this semester, we are still in consultations. That is, at the beginning of the next semester, we'll come up with a joint Thanksgiving service of all the denominations that we have in our institution, which is something to be proud of as the Student Council. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so happy to announce that for the first time in our institution, we are having a Student Council that the students can be proud of. And going forward, it's a solemn call to all our constituents, that is our students, to number 1, we are here to act, if not minimize the gap, then it is to block or fill completely the gap that is there between the administration and the students. Number 2, we are also calling our students to ensure that we are observing the guidelines. That is 1 in the student handbook. So that as we as the Student Council are struggling to ensure that we are filling up this gap, our students are also struggling to ensure that we are following the guidelines. That is of utmost importance for me to state in this address. Of course, if I won't state it, I would be asked, is the issue of the security at our gate. As the Student Council, we understand that sometimes we've been having issues of the way maybe the security personnel at the gate handle the students. And I'm happy to announce that we've also issued a strict warning through the head of security and even the security personnel at the gate as the Student Council, that it is not the problem when a student has an issue, maybe with the dressing, maybe they have not displayed their tags, I mean, but it is a problem of the mode of addressing these students. And going forward, we've ensured that they are very liable to anything that may arise at the gate. And we're also advising our students, you have our contacts all over, that kindly, if anything arises at any place, whether it is at night, our phone contacts are always open 24/7. If anything arises, please notify the Student Council so that we can attend to it with utmost urgency and importance. I want to give this chance to the Secretary General to outline some of the things that maybe I have not said in this. So, karibu sana Bwana SG.
Okay, thank you very much, My names are Mathews Samuel Kongani, the Secretary General, Presbyterian University Student Association. As you have heard, I'm also the Deputy Director, Finance and Career Development at CUPSA, and newly elected Treasurer at Kenya Private University Student Association, though it is not yet gazetted, so wait for a big announcement soon. So first of all, allow me to start with the sports clubs and entertainment docket, of which we understand very well that one of the ways to make sure that our university is marketed is through nurturing talents, through making sure that each and every student at the university, their talents are being showcased to the world, not only to the country but all over the world. Making sure that everything that is being done so in those competition, inter-competition, inter-university competition outside there, they compete effectively and they become competitive even in their future talents and career. So through the sports clubs and entertainment docket, from the reports that I've been getting through as the Secretary General of Student Association, there's fully facilitation of the events that are being conducted because we have football men's FKF league, which is ongoing. It is almost there, I think. And at the same time, we have upcoming tournament rugby, of which it's an M7s, which is begins from tomorrow and on Sunday. So this all of these events have been facilitated fully, of which we still say thank you very much to our administration, to the relevant office that have been standing with us. We have basketball, of which they have been facilitated even in their league that have been going on since last year, and everything, I can assure you, everything is running on very effective. Even we have the handball team, of which it was facilitated to compete, that is in Chuka. It was facilitated to compete in a lot of competitions that were held up, that is last year. This year, Bush tournament, of which it was, I think, in February 12, they were facilitated, and we still say asanteni sana. So when I say about marketing the university, it's all about making sure that whenever you are going for those competitions, you are carrying that label of the institution, and that can only happen through making sure that you have a fully labeled kit of the university, that is Presbyterian University of East Africa. And for that course, I can assure you, and I can tell you that through the help of sports director and the sports tutors office and the administration, the university has made sure that each and every sport, each and every club has a full kit, full sports kit. That is the jerseys. There are enough facilities, though. In one way or the other, we still have the challenge on the side of the pitch, or those grounds for them to train in. But we can say the pitch that have been there was renovated. We made sure that the pitch is renovated, and it is currently at a good state compared to where we found it when we entered into the office last year. In the same course, I want to inform you that the each and every sports team was facilitated with these training facilities, that is cones, balls. There is always first aid kit, of which each and every time we make sure that communication is made earlier to make sure that they are very much refilled, to make sure that whenever our players go out to compete, whenever they get injured in one way or the other, they are able to be treated. That is first aid kit and other measures to take place from there. Then another thing that I want to inform you as the students of this great university. First, you have to trust and believe that you are part of this student association. So whenever the student association achieve, student win. Whenever student association fail, you fail too. So I want to assure you that through the help of our finance director, the students' independent account, that is our account, will be soon be opened fully. The plans have been there since we entered into the office, and up to now, I can assure you that by next week, Friday, everything will be sorted and everything will be running smoothly. This will only help, will help very many students more so in the terms of making sure that these funds can reach them in time. More so, as the Mr. President has mentioned, things to do with financial support for more so when you lose your beloved ones, things to do with facilitating these other events. So there will be that efficiency because it will ease and we will not have that much process of making sure that we follow to make sure that we get these funds. Another thing is about marketing the university. When we entered the office, I think you also, we had more than very dormant. I don't remember even if there was any active one, but we had dormant social media platforms. But currently, I can assure you, and even you can confirm you yourself, that our social media platforms are very active, are very much effective. If you miss information or if you want information, you can just make sure that you follow those social media platforms, and everything you can get every information at any time that you want to make sure that you want to get them at your comfort of your place where you are. So I want to assure you that the academic office, through the academic director, Kate Moore, made sure that each and everything, so the things to do with the Wi-Fi, things that our president had mentioned, things to do with making sure that registration of the units is being done in time. But at the same time, you even saw that whenever we had some problems, maybe one comes and say, I have not yet cleared with my school fees, you have been seeing and you have been observing very keenly that through the help of our academic director, through the consultations with the university registrar, the time had been extended. And I still urge the EU students that each and every time when you have those problems or when you have those issues about your finances, you're not able to register the units, make sure each and every time reach the academic, any one of the leaders, academic director, reach me, reach any leader. Make sure that make sure that your grievances are being heard, so that you can be helped in time, but not just waiting at a deadline whereby everything, whereby the system is almost closed, then you come up with those requests. At the same time, let us help each other to make sure that we carry our university to higher dimension. Then another thing I will talk about making sure that the services at our cafeteria are very much effective. Yes, I understand in a couple of days we face some challenges, 2, 3, but now you can confirm that every effective. This is why I always say, if you cannot feed 100 people, feed at least one person. And this is our slogan, we as student leader, to make sure that each and every student or each and every comrade cannot lack anything wherever he or she is. As long as we have the information, as long as we know that this and this person is going through this and this issue, we make sure that that person is reached upon, that person gets what he or she needs. And through this, we were able to initiate the donation, that's drive to make sure that comrades don't go to bed hungry. Comrades get at least something to make sure they eat. Seeing from last semester, initiated this through the help of school administration. we were able to initiate each and everything and it ran well, very, very much well. And it is still on. Yeah, I want to assure you it is still on. Liaise with the relevant office, reach unto us. If you lack something, yeah, if we don't say that you are need, but you have just lacked something to make sure that you are being sustained wherever you are. So reach unto us so that your grievances can be heard, so that we can make sure that each and every your life here in campus is very, very, very much comfortable. Then allow me now to touch on the Puea constitution, of which we are into, to make sure that it is being amended, and some parts which are being suspended, because I understand students, you have been asking, yes, this and this chapter has been suspended, the parliament is not working. So I want to assure you that in 2 weeks coming, we'll make sure that every entity is being included into this process, and we try to make sure that we amend and have a new and very, very great and bold, rigid constitution. Let me finish by telling you that everything is permissible for me, but everything is not beneficial. Not only for me, but each and every leader. This is what we always tell our leaders, yeah? Because in each and every time when we are making sure that everything runs on effectively, we face a lot of challenges, we face a lot of opposition from inside and outside forces, of which you yourself, you understand. But at the same time, we always say that you cannot please each and every person, yeah? Because if I must boast, I will only boast for those that make me to lack that sleep. Yeah, that's where I will try to. If you are in a comfort zone and you are a leader, that's not something to make. So in those many remarks, let me take it back to the chairperson to tackle it from there now.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bwana SG. Bwana SG has outlined to us very important pieces of information that our students needed to know of where we've come from and where we are and where we are going to. In every institution, in every entity, it is important for us to do something that we call stock taking, to know tuko wapi na tunaenda wapi. Just to maybe pull strings, of course the SG has tackled. On matters of sports, we've ensured, and every sports person can know and can testify, that whenever any sports person goes out there to represent our institution, they are given allowances or something that we call the stipends. Whichever the team you are playing in, so long as you're a sports person and you are representing this institution, we ensure, so long as you've gone to the field to play, you are given lunch and a small token, which is important for our students, because I think it's ensured that our students have been having the zeal. And for the first time, I know tournaments have been happening in our institution, but for the first time, we've had the zeal, the oomph, the determination, the happiness of students getting involved in tournaments. Especially, I think every sports person can tell you, especially the football tournament that happened last semester, that brought about teams, more than 8 teams, competed thoroughly. It was a nice experience. I can say that for the student council. Also another thing maybe to say that this semester we're also doing the same tournament. Next semester we'll do the same tournament. This semester is known for the track events. And I want to tell our students to prepare to run. I know not all of us are Kalenjins, but I believe we can run. So I want to tell our students to prepare to run. Long distance, short distance. Coming up in the next 3 weeks is the Puea annual track event. So our students should get prepared to run and win themselves awards. And for the first time, I believe we've consulted some few partners, so that if you can run well, you are supported, and you get your partner out there. Also another thing maybe, because the vice chairperson is not here, she patronized and ensured that the ladies in our institution can get pads at an affordable cost. That through the matron, the ladies can get pads at an affordable cost. They had a consultative meeting together with the HR, the dean, the counselor, and the vice chairperson of the student council. And we wrote to the school asking for a pad dispenser, so that at one stage in our school we'll have a pad dispenser, so that if we have a lady that maybe hawezi jisaidia maybe to buy the pads, they can go there and get one, or I don't know, one packet or two for free. So, and it is coming up, and to heal that problem that was there, the matron is solving it at an affordable cost. Also, the SG mentioned something about the field. I think we all know that the field, especially the playing ground, was leveled. And it's a nice playing field. At least now we can no longer say Puea Green Stadium in quotes. We can say Puea Green Stadium while we mean it. The next few days, we are working on that council gets itself not a new constitution, but a reviewed constitution, as the SG has said. The SG personally and I met the legal officer. We got advice. We met the dean. We also consulted the vice chancellor, and we were given a go-ahead to amend and review the student council constitution, so that matters such as the revamping of the parliament can happen. And I believe that from the next student council, we'll have a students' parliament, where students will elect, maybe in saying quotes, their own MPs from each department. So coming up, we are still calling our students in the next few days to bring suggestions, as we prepare one meeting maybe, to bring suggestions of how they want the student council constitution to be. We are not changing the whole constitution, we are just reviewing the constitution. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that this is not a one-day affair. We are in a process of changing our university. We are in a process of upgrading our university. And one thing I'm proud of our institution is that we are still growing, meaning one, we have the potential of growth, whether it's the students or the staff or anyone, so long as you're in the university. Therefore, I'm calling up for the students for their support. The way you guys have always given us support as the student council, please continue doing so. We won't fail you. We promise that we won't fail. And I speak this on behalf of 11 other members of the student council. Continue giving us your support. In case of anything, please reach out. This is an open atmosphere. It's an open environment. We are here to help you as you help us. Otherwise, thank you so much. May I give this chance to maybe the media for any questions or any follow-up. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. President. It was nice to meet you. You began by tackling on the issue of academics. Let me just pass by a remark on academics. There is this issue of missing marks that students are struggling to find out a way to sort out the missing marks in their transcripts. Approach as a body and as a department to tackle this issue of missing marks. Second question, you tackled on the issue of sports and games. There are so many games that have not been involved. You've been speaking of football, you've been speaking of maybe volleyball. There are indoor games, there are also outdoor games like hockey. There are indoor games like bando. Those games are played inside. What is your approach? Because at the state of the university, we don't have them. What are your plans to bring them on board? The last question I want to ask is the issue of the nursing department in education matters academics. The nursing department have been struggling with the issue of indexing. Indexing in such a way that most of them are not saying that the whole department is not indexed. Most of them going outside, not fully prepared. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I believe you've asked the right questions, maybe things that we forgot to mention. On the issue of missing marks, I began by saying our university is a system. Meaning, when a system is in place, you cannot disrupt a whole system. And I want all our students to understand that. When we got into office, the only question that we wanted to ask was, why was it that we are having missing marks? And when we met the exam department, that is together with the academics director, I'm happy he's here, we met the exam department more than thrice. We also met the DVC. And we met the ICT departments and everyone involved in ensuring that marks are there on time and in our portal. And through the registrar's office, we were told, and that is what of course is happening. I believe our students have been seeing some maybe big things happening in the portal. Maybe you have 85, that's an A. You open your portal next week, you have 34. That's a D. The next thing you open, you have student welfare. And then the next time you open, you have 75. And we asked, why is it the alternation of results? And we were told, and that is of course happening now, that the Wi-Fi was was a bit in the examination systems. 85. So what are we doing to counter that? We are asking our students, you have 34, that if you have any issue of
the next thing you open, you have
personally, before
and then the next time you open, you have 75.
one semester,
and we asked why is it that the nation of results?
Let me
and
say,
we were told,
those
and that is of course
happening
happening
December, that marks are there. And we've talked to all the head of departments, I'm happy to announce, and also the exam department, to ensure that those that are graduating are given utmost priority in ensuring that they have their marks as we continue upgrading the system. So we are calling the students to be patient and saying that we've not closed and put a blind eye on the issue of missing exams. We know it is happening. So we are calling our students to be patient. We are working on it, not us, but it's a system change and a system upgrade. Number two, on the issue of sports and games, I believe maybe the SG tackled most of the outer games, but maybe I want to announce that I believe every 4 p.m. at the cafeteria, we also see some people playing some indoor games. And through the office of Mr. Aaron Sailepu, that is the lecturer, the teacher in charge of games, we met him at the beginning of this year with the finance director, the SG, and the sports director, and outlined every games that we wanted. Some were considered, some were not, but we are doing a follow-up. And as per now, on Tuesday, we had a meeting with the Vice Chancellor concerning the indoor games and how we can perfect, if not create a place for the indoor games. And the Vice Chancellor said that it is on record, it is first grading the institution to ensure that we have a place specialized for the indoor games, such as table tennis. Of course, table tennis is happening. And I think we all know, I think many of us maybe don't know, but we know that we happen to be facilitating table tennis. And we ensure they go for tournaments. We also facilitate chess, those that are playing chess and drafts, to ensure that they go for tournaments.